Hello mates, this is Discovery Scouts, a Pirates of the Caribbean film series here. Today is Friday, January 27, 2017, and I'm watching the Pirates of the Caribbean. Edward Wilson, our stars in core. Black Sails coming on until 9 to 10, 9 and 10 for the 2 episodes on the third season. The one they have it about the characters are following on the first of 2014, second 2015, and third 2016, and now it's in 2017. It's fourth season. It is to be continued to be the one of about the 3 years past. The one that had the Hannah New, she was very hot. She was 32. She was a communicating honest about play Alana. She has formerly of Pirates. She joins in about Britain from London, England. But Bahamas is the regular island. They have most of scenes about the black one of the British fleet to the British fleet, and they have a ship of the lines frigates. The same including battleships, included the Spaniards and miseries of galleons, the bigger ones, warships, and converted about first, the second, and third seasons through 2014 to 2016. And she was stated until then about memories of a Black Sails. The one thing think about all the episodes every Sunday before the individuals of the final seasons. They made it the lot of editor to be episodes about 50 to 60 minutes. They haven't happened those about curiosity. Jessica Parker, she has a relationship with Hannah. She is willing to do about be falling in love with themselves to be a lesbian, and tells us he was certainly naked and crucified in classifications for more than they have about very good expectations, very signable. These all the paperwork stuffs is so unimaginable. They love of those things about sexuals. I'm gonna head to the bathroom, guys. So I'm gonna do it right now. Be right back. So we find out we've been to the continue to the we know it, and still have British battles here for the last time, and they have a war. They have a lot of the Britain soldiers. A lot of things about a lot of those the musket with the rifles, all of them, and the cannon artillery fire, and the 4 warships and some warships, and some of those who goes to against the pirates. What did the lieutenant and the general do? So slowly and mostly do, and she would try to the very insight into seeing and skirmishing sea battles under the sea for the 1800s, and after the ends of 100 years on 1700s, when the pirates commanded by the owners ships and captains notable members. The crew members, all of those at about the hundreds. If those who had about made the Armada, and they made for the pirates, Spanish, Dutch, French, England with East India Trading Company on the Pirates of the Caribbean. And those is right there. Those is on my TV shows on AdWords and for the last 10 years. And still have it extend still 10 years from now. I was gonna say definitely until about 22 years now from 12. Most things that happen to some go up about for 10 years. So I've been windowed about long time ago. So Mama was independent, was so stressed out. She was a 47 through 57. And my dad has 49 to 50 through 60. It's mostly included on amazing. She was very high. She was a high in the miserable things. She was beloved whole things ever I wanted, and they have it exhausted, and one of the lieutenant orders to executions. Those who got survived, and those are one men alone that stranded here, and there are most intelligently, and those of them about any of them TV shows. It seem like it about 10 to 15 crew of them that will rest their whole life, and they're hiring, signing up those ships, all those papers on in the cabins. This is where the captains, lieutenants, and notable crew members is where we're gonna be does about and make up about coins with plunders, the monies, and making the loans to about 10,000 coins into the treasure in this world. When did the treasure hunt from the black sails do? And those who most stories do. Why don't you could think about the book? Think about the books and the novel. Think about the year 1750s. When did this about every 10 minutes about the walrus carrying fire for the Spanish warship into a lot of cannons. They have the Spanish soldiers, Royal Marines, and the under the deck. The two of them, they're both countering fire was explosion, and firing together, firing the shot at them, and destruction. The two ships sinking, stranded. Favorites of the wounded. It could be almost gonna sunk down to the depths. When did the issues, and he was at about the big ships. So 1.5 of the pirate ship. It was the finale battling for about first life, and this is about the reasons. Could be one has it about very unquestionable when this happens there, when this is saying the prayers be in peace, prayers of peace beyond the sea battle. For one who got against them, and one of the thing about 250 men on his ship. The walrus was attacking by the Spanish galleon, and they have to look like about 680 of them. The look of them were pretty inside. There were some about the higher intensities, most of the currently their other two ships was destructed by the warship of one galleon and the giant ones original and the three decks and cannons for before everything, and they started all of the cannonry fire into the sea, into the straight back beyond the seas. I I don't think about that while it was sinking. They believe it was sinking a lot. No idea what he could in those specials. It could be one that says, "Don't do anything. Don't ever do anything about stupid for them." For one of them, for Captain Flynn's ships, the fleeting and they are fleeting to the British warships, and she was could be one of a pre terrible, and could be the one destroyed, disbanded, and fleeing away. For the aftermath, it could be an ambushing for about cavalries. But one to think about the Ben Barnes from the Seventh Son. The Cooper Star was underestimated. This seems to be about the Bregon prison. Forever who wanted to be, and definitely, and so terrible things happens. And crucified, noticeable, honorable. Nothing for was. But it seems to be a very incitement to be the one about the soldier rations. There definitely it could be one of them besides, and all of them could be the one of the hardest held. It could be to get out. It could be to stay with them, and it's so. It was about so amazing. It was could be. It was about the imagination about the stories of who the girl does, and the black African woman, and she was did not know what he talking about. And she was gonna have to say everything. And gonna have to say no. She's staying the Woodbury behind. Those two men was brag on the behind. They have no idea what they talking about. And they're saying we appreciate it. They have separated those Alana and Max and former B one of the B Max joins in the crew. He was captured one of the British ships, British cavalry, and they got under arrest, and he's got in jail. He's got a jail forever. He's shot at jail was it permanently for no reasons. When the Max is gone, and we gotta have to reunited those in the Marauders, Buccaneers, and Pirates, and they're going to be able to be the war against the British war against Royal Navy and the Marines, Spanish, Dutch, and French warred against piracy, and in the realm before his about the 1700s years, and they're not gonna show enough about till it ends, about 50 and 60 minutes. So a while ago, if it looks about good at them, it could be one who decided and seems helpless and needed to be about helpful rescuing for the ships. He goes there, but I did not know the ghost there, and she was having the terrible things happen. And doesn't matter, and doesn't want to see everything. But it doesn't matter, or it does matter, wanted to see sea straight to the seven seas, to the oceans. So one day have to stand alone to the beach. They have so predictable. Otherwise, so nothing can do. So nothing could be the one to survive, and so nothing for more. It could be unstoppable. They don't know why. And no such things, so the terrible things happen. It's a murder scene and criminal investigation under the 80s. Might be the SEPTA for the piracy, for the against the Britain, pirate, Spain, France, and Dutch. In my community, I also learned how to watch Black Sails. And my brother's gonna buy me about the Black Sails on my birthday for total about the next week of Monday, and 1 and 2.5 weeks. Mostly do. They have a decided one, and they have an insight in and see how's the good thing happens. It takes about a few days into the talking about the Flins happened there, and about investigating with Alana, and she was just here. I wasn't to see imagination for Jessica do. She has a pretty hot black hair, and Hannah was very hot blonde hair. She was yellow and white. It could be having about good in shoes. They ever taught us about and notice things about every no excuses, every emotion. They have talked to you about one of the part of them for the girls thinking about for on divas. It was a good mad of them each other. It wasn't a good it was a good or bad. That doesn't do anything good. There could be nothing else. But sometimes it feel free to be nothing else. The one of a few moments, it wasn't about unsubscribers things and more the continents, and no one to be else, and so are we. So nobody else can do. It could be cause a lot of turbulence happens. It feels like amazing. It feels like bad. It feels like current. It feels like confused. It's this whole thing about conversation with meetings. The one could think about the British ships, wherever to be in about sea wars about those enemies, and then revolving to the destroyers. Out against the pirate ships. One of them for the British, one of them have the Spanish, one of them for the French and Dutch, one they have about the pirates. The same as the Black Sails under the Queen Anne's events. They have the Black Bear scenes about the last time. It's the most have the Black Bears on the Queen Anne's events. When the pirate Jolly Roger flag, and that was about the Edward Teach on his flag. And that seemed to me about the 100 crews ready into the cannery fire for this about enemy Britain ships. A same as a friend of mine's, but for one could think about every time about a very emotional appearances, forever, destinies, dynasties, and who currently won't be hard out in this world. This guy was close. The God was help. The God will help us all. Not for the definitely for death. Not anymore. Alright, ends now. I seen Pirates of the Caribbean Dementona Tales on September 2016. The editor and the music on the choirs and the orchestra, and they haven't seen in the Disney's and Jerry Bruckheimer films. They sent it to on May 26, 2017 on the movie theaters. They haven't shown the first trailer and the second and TV spots, all of them, and cameras, B-rolls, clips, full movies, and spectacular play, same as it about the Black Pearl and Queen Anne's Revenge. They have the same as the crew, Dying Gold, Silent Mary as the ghost ships, and unnamed British ships, Spanish galleons on it, and Whale and Monkey and Con's Parrot. We have no idea it has been coming to, but exactly. Colin's not here. David Bailey is not able to the Pirates of the Caribbean 5th, which is about mention the 5th. But Will Turner has 40. He played by Orlando Bloom, but he's shown up to play about last 10 years to be the good actress. And she is really good. She is a really good pirate. See the good things ever. He's named his son's name Henry William Turner Jr. She certainly was 20 on 1760. That he captured under the British. They captured under the British Royal Marines. He was taken down to the brig, but he was arriving to the caves. They have a ghost cruise was ambushing for his crew, was escaping. He could be fined and sentenced to his death of Captain Jack Sparrow. They have no idea the Captain Salazar is going to. He wasn't known as born, and there could be about 60-50s. It wasn't about 110 years ago, 10 years old. When Jack Sparrow was 60 years later, when Barbossa was 80 years, but Scrum has friend Jack, and Josh McGibbs a friend, Marty Dew, Con's Parrot, and Jack the Monkey goes to Captain Barbossa. He is on the Queen Anne's Revenge, same as Pearl. If they ever done about the end from completely on Stranger Tides. It wasn't not that bad. It's a good thing about the Pearl still. It's right there. It's just relative to the Davy Jones locker with Jack chasing it. And but same as Jack do. Jack was captain in the Black Pearl, and Barbossa was captain in the Queen Anne's Revenge from Blackbeard, and Karina Smith joins the captain in the Dying Gold with Henry Turner. Silent Mary was captained by Salazar with his ship. They seem to receive very exciting scenes every momentarily. There literally just seems how it's about the legally to kill every pirate at the sea. The one good thing, including British and Spanish, all of the soldiers, and they have the hunt for the trident of Poseidon, which like Percy Jackson do. What did his son and his dad do? Son of Poseidon, his brother Tyson was the Sea of Monsters. He leaves the three. He was the three. He leaves for Percy Jackson third Titan's Curse until about 2 more years. actually temporarily. Winter Pearl is here, his third movie, and Queen Anne's Revenge, build it into the crew, is completely and January 30th until about 3 more days. And the Black Pearl is completely built up January 30th, 2017. 2. Congratulations, 100 of the crew members. Doing great job for Australia. Australia is a country, the state. And Honolulu, Hawaii is just a big island on the state. They're going back to the California to see Pirates of the Caribbean 5th on the pirate ship. It's the 2 ships where every pirate around the world. There's a Black Pearl, Queen Anne's Revenge. Was the same message about the Captain Jack Sparrow and Captain Hector Barbossa. And one of the intelligence do. Every moment's about very emotion, every interesting. When did the Dying Gold defend on the Pearl and Revenge? And what's a good thing about enemies here about Notorious Pirates? It's villain here and the Silent Mary. And the enormous villain is British warships and the Royal Marines and soldiers. And the Spanish haven't mentioned that for the villain's third. It's the 3 galleons, Royal Marines and the Royal Navy Marines and the ships. And those who have free for all. And those are the 3 pirate ships. One of the Ghost pirate ship, and one will have about British warships. The 2. There's 3 in Spanish galleon. No such thing as a good idea. So time for the end right now. So I hope we're gonna decide to see you guys about some tomorrow. So tomorrow on watching those on the TV spots today for new one coming up for on Super Bowl day on February 5th. And those who have about the first TV spots today, guys. So don't forget to subscribe to more contents. Follow on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google, Vines, and Twitch/Game Gaming Challenge. Juggies are on Elma, New Jersey State, Cockazoid, Cockatalk, Tomaleo, Hangouts on Play Stores. Follow subscription of friends on McJugger Nuggets, Big Butter, Jordy Star Barger, Kid Behind the Camera, Bridget West, The Ain't Grandpa Show, Grandpa's Corner, Recycle Dad, Larry's Lounge, Joe Bump, Recycle Dad, Recycle Aunts, Recycle Uncles, Amalessa, Recycle Mom, and Manning Corn, Juliet Riley, Team Creed, Reagan Dad, and Bro Squad, Tony Tornado, Crazy in Love, Derrodiso Daily, and Fuzzalita, Smoko Hernandez on Space Jam Gardens, and the Priority Actor, Life of Moko, Nesboo, Life of Boog, The Boog Show, The Cubic Guy Life, BF vs. GF, and Pranks vs. Prank, Roman Edwards, Wings, and just as the rest of the 1 sec. And to be continued, Nana Giles, Ben Phillips, and Ilya Giles. And today, Jackson with Doherty, Shama Prasad with Shami TV today, Alexander Daddario Topic, Ferrer Alex Anna, Logan Lerman, Brenny T. Jackson, Jake Aba, Hollywood, Jim Perry, Leva Rambin, and Douglas Smith, Margaret Robbie, and Justin Ferlander, Justin and Ben Ferlander, the K. Upton, Elfinish Hatterer, John Bass, Zach Efron, Kelly Wilbosch, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and WWE Championship cast, and Triple H, John Cena here. And don't forget to like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. So subscribe to the content of Lifter, live for the Instagram on this video. So watch it on Instagram on Tony Tornado play as crazy boyfriend with Millie and Mantha in the cast of the three, the priority guys. So Jugga Nuggets here with the Parker, Buzz, Mark, and Juliet, and Zach, and his brother Jeffrey, and his parents here, and Teresa, and Jeff, and his uncle Larry, Chris, his aunt Melissa, and Jackie, his uncle George, and Charles here, and Chris here, his brother Jeff Sr. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna watch those Black Zone until about 12 and a half minutes to go. 12 and a half minutes. So, maybe next time, guys. So, I love you guys to feel free to death. So, don't forget to keep it rich, mates. Have a great evening.